be so high in your eyes. I wanna disappear inside you and be alright tonight. You say your medicine is all that I require, and that I'm blinded by the stars in my eyes. Can I make something good out of this? Can I make something good out of this? Chances are you will not be missed, 'cause you don't give a shit. Can I make something good out of this? something good out of this. You will be late, you could be too. You could be underneath my shoe. Sometimes you're the only one who's strong, and I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, but I want more. You could be late, you could be too. You could be underneath my shoe. Times you're the only one who's strong, and I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, 'cause I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more. I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more. I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. I want more. I want more. I want more from you, yeah, more. More from you, yeah, more. I want more from you, Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Let's go! Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Let's go. What is up? Redacted. Oh shit. Let's go. Let's redact that like button. Oh! Here we go. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Oh, do you need? Let's go. Do you need to be redacted? Redact me. Oh, please. Please, please redact me. What up? Oh, there we go. Please redact me. Oh, please, please redact me. Hey, hey. Oh! Dude, all right. Dude, what a fucking shit show, boss. Right? Would I redact you? Dude, please redact me. That's my new song. Redact me. So, I mean, dude, so I thought today was pretty funny. And you know why I thought today was pretty funny, guys? Is because, like, you know, I was thinking about, like, the shutdown and how everyone got mad that, like, you know, everyone got mad about the shutdown. Everyone got mad because they wanted to get 𝗙𝗽𝗽𝗃, you know, sworn in so they could get the discharge petition. And so we could get to this point of today with the release. And today, though, guys, it's like, I don't know, today's like the big Republican day, okay? Because they thwart the release. Trump doesn't release a whole bunch of shit. A whole bunch of shit's redacted. And what do? They put everything out there that is like Bill Clinton pictures, okay? And so today is like their big victory lap. You know what I mean? Their big fucking, right? Today is their big, like, aha, we told you you shouldn't have released this shit, blah, 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 blah. But also, guys, it's December 2025. Like, everything that happens today is going to be completely forgotten 30 days from now. And like, it's just really interesting because the Republicans are shooting their shot. But we have
11 months before this fucking impeach Bill Clinton. Yes, dude, we have 11 months before the election. Like, there's a long way to go. And so, I mean, the Republicans are like victory lapping today, dude. Dude, have you noticed the Republicans are just victory lapping? They're like, but like, guys, you don't want to be victory lapping in December of 2025. You know, I don't know. I find it pretty humorous. Because it's fucking, you know, it's just funny. You know, it's funny. It's going to be a long fight. Yeah. No, that's just it. Like, this is what Brownbird said right there. This is as good as it gets for them. This is it. You know what I'm saying? This is literally as good as it gets for them. And so the redaction is crazy. Okay? I have not looked at all of this stuff. I have just started perusing. I mean, here's a couple things I noticed, like off the bat, right? Hold on one sec. So there are a couple things that I noticed, like right off the bat, and one of them was, hold on one sec. Let me get acclimated here. Need to get fucking Discord open. All right. So, one of the things I noticed was, here, let me get the link. Was how like they front loaded the Clinton stuff. Okay? Did you guys notice that the Clinton stuff is like way front loaded? Like, okay, so here's our DOJ link. Here's our little Epstein library, right? And of course, if you search Clinton, right? If you search Clinton, right? They have like right up front are the photos, right? Did you guys notice this? It's like the layout of the files. So I thought this was interesting. When you search Clinton, right away, it brings up the data sets with the photos, right? But did you notice how right off the bat, it leads off with the photos? Now, what's interesting is if you search Trump, right? You search Trump. I don't think there's any photos in Trump, right? There's like, there's like his book is where it starts, with his book being on the shelves in the Epstein place. But when you search Trump, it literally goes right into the redacted contact info, and then it goes right into like legal cases. Okay? Like legal cases. I know Bill Clinton's career is over. Yeah. Dude, I'm stealing what somebody said here. I'm going to steal this. I'm fucking the impeach Bill Clinton. That's just too good, dude. Dude, let's go. There it is, dude. That's a solid tweet. Impeach Bill Clinton. But so this, right? This is one of the things that I thought was really interesting. Was how all of the entire first page of Clinton results are photos. Okay? So obviously, this release was set up in a way that you would search Bill Clinton and instantly you would get photos so they could be disseminated to across the internet. And then when you search Trump, all you're going to get is pages upon pages of legal filings, many of which are repeats. Like, right? Look at this. Like on the Trump thing, they repeat multiple fucking pages sometimes. They're just repeats, okay? And you know, all of it is just legal filing, legal filing, legal filing, legal filing, legal filing. A lot of it is Ghislaine Maxwell's 2025 transcript, right? You know what I'm saying? And so now, like, dude, here's the deal is like, whatever. I mean, if they have a case against Bill Clinton, like, go ahead and arrest Bill Clinton or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. Like, Bill Clinton's not even in my fucking political realm, right? Like, that guy, you know, Kamala Harris dusted Bill Clinton off for a couple of campaign appearances. I don't know anyone in the Democratic Party that wanted to see Clinton's face in the election. Okay? Nobody. Right? I don't even know what you're talking about. Dude, he was done since the 90s. I mean, frankly, guys, you ready for this? Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Bill Clinton's career ended when Monica Lewinsky came forward. Okay? All of us that were Democrats were over Bill Clinton when we found out he was like using the power of the presidency to hook up with fucking staffers. Okay? We were all done with him in fucking 2000. You know what I mean? Like, to this idea that we have somehow, like, I saw somebody online say Clinton's your boy. It's like, because he spoke in Dearborn. And I was like, dude, who are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, we've disavowed him when he was like hooking up with interns. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as we found out about Monica Lewinsky, we were like, ew, dude, this guy's gnarly. You know? Right? And I mean, dude, in his appearance in Dearborn was ridiculous. It was like the stupidest thing. I can't believe they dragged him out. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, boss. Right. Dude, he's not our boy. He's not been our boy for 25 fucking years. Dude. So gross, dude. I mean, we knew what Bill was when we found out he fucking smarmed Monica Lewinsky. Now, the crazy shit, okay? The crazy shit is that their guy is as smarmy as Clinton and then some, and they still like adore him and they believe he's been anointed by Jesus. Yeah, I know. I've seen that a lot, guys. I've seen that a lot. Like I've been replying to some of these comments because we have these people, right? Like, you know, where is it? Like, who is it? There was some goofball, right? Right? Look at this. Bill Clinton in Jeffrey Epstein's pool. Looking forward to the media obsessively talking about Bill Clinton was nearly naked. I mean, he's wearing a swimsuit, right? Look at the way they frame this. Look at how Laura Loomer frames this. He was nearly naked. Like, guys, everybody who gets in a pool is nearly naked. Like, really? What are you talking about? Dude, he's wearing a fucking swimsuit. So is Ghislaine. Ghislaine is wearing a swimsuit. So is the other redacted person. They're wearing a swimsuit. They're wearing what everybody wears in a pool. But he's nearly naked, right? Nearly naked. That's so funny. Oh my God. You were nearly naked in the swimming pool. Oh shit. Guilty. I'm guilty of being nearly naked. But again, guys, you ready? So here's the thing. You ready? We're not voting for Bill Clinton. Okay? Bill Clinton does not represent the modern Democratic Party. He's not our guy. We don't care if you have proof, put him in jail, right? Cuff him, lock him up. Nobody cares. All right? Totally fine with that. All right? We don't care about that. But also, Bill Clinton didn't say he was going to release these files. Bill Clinton, after he said he was going to release them, didn't say that it was a hoax. Bill Clinton didn't say this shit was made up, didn't pretend like it doesn't exist. And what's more is like, okay, you release all the Bill Clinton shit. Great. Yeah, Bill Clinton was hanging out with Epstein, probably fucking some teenagers. And Bill Clinton deserves to go to jail. And I don't know if he's ever going to go to jail, but that's fine. All right, let's see the Trump photos. Where are the Trump photos? Because are you telling me that Donald Trump said this was a hoax and Donald Trump is going to the ends of the earth to prevent these files from coming out because he's trying to protect Bill Clinton? Is that the story you are running with? That Donald Trump has prevented the release of the Epstein files because he didn't want us to know about Bill Clinton? Huh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's very believable. Right? You know what I'm saying? We got some Bubba. What do we got from Bubba? Bubba? Oh, dude, that is funny, bro. Oh, shit, dude. Bubba, it is so much worse than you thought right there. There it is, dude. Oh, Lord. Let's go. The truth has come out. Oh, my God, dude. That's good. That's good. Dude, it's amazing. Oh, good shit. So I mean, I'm not convinced, guys. I am not convinced. Okay? Obviously, here's what I said today, guys. I was like, if the whole meat of the Epstein files, if all of this was like the meat and potatoes of the Epstein files, Trump would not have prevented their coming out. Okay? You know what I mean? I mean, let's be honest, guys. If this, you ready for this? If this was a huge deal on the Epstein files, they should have just released everything, and then they would have held this until like September of 2026 and drop this shit in September right before the election and be like, oh my God, scandal. It really wasn't about us. It was about the Democrats. And here's Bill Clinton, right? But they're starting with this, and this is like the tiniest portion. So I'm not super convinced. And what's more though too is like I don't think this is even Epstein's pool. I think this is a hotel, guys. Right? This pool, I think this is a hotel. I mean, look at this. Look at this fucking backdrop here. Is this Epstein's house? Is this in New York? I mean, this is not the Virgin Islands, Let's see if we can find out here. Does it matter? It does matter, right, John Doe? It absolutely matters because you ready? Because if the photos they have of Bill Clinton with Ghislaine Maxwell and this other person are in a pool and it's at a hotel out in public, like that absolutely matters. Because I think there's a huge difference of like going on a trip with somebody to a public hotel and being in a pool with them versus being in a pool and say Epstein's Island with a bunch of fucking teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a huge difference. Obviously, if Bill Clinton had something major to hide in being on this trip with Ghislaine and this girl, he wouldn't go to a public pool in a hotel and be out there where anybody could snap a photograph of him. I mean, if he was messing around with this girl, they would fucking certainly do it like under wraps. I mean, people aren't completely stupid. Bill Clinton knows everywhere he goes, people, anybody with a camera, he's going to be paparazzi'd and end up on the cover of fucking Daily Mail UK. You know what I'm saying? So I think it makes a huge difference, right, where that is. So we don't know. See, it says that it could be a hotel in Brunei. See, I want to know where this is, right? You know, I want to know where this is. And again, don't get me wrong, because I'm sure that Bill Clinton was fucking around with some of these girls. I absolutely am certain of it. And I hope he fries. I mean, I feel like Bill already fried after the Monica Lewinsky thing. He never really came back from that. And that's why I think he devoted his life after that to the foundation, to trying to help, you know, the world, because he just knew that he was cooked and his political career was basically over, that he was never going to be, you know, like a mainstream political figure anymore. Right? I mean, he knew, you know, he absolutely knew. Right. But I think the reality of, you know, the thing they do produce with Bill appears to be him like on a vacation with these guys in a hotel out in public. And I don't think that's like super damning, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's super damning. And, you know, I mean, it's as far as they want it to be fucking this crazy damning thing. But I will say though, right, they did lead up. Let's just look through here. They led up. Absolutely, they led with all of the Clinton photos. All right, there's a video of Epstein. This one is a video, I think, right? But look at the redactions, guys. The redactions are crazy, okay? Why are they so redacted? Like, why are they complete black squares? Why aren't they just blocking out faces? Okay? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't they fucking blocking out, like, faces? Okay? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't they blocking out faces? Now, again, guys, right? They're blocking entire photos instead of just the face. That's very fucking strange, boss. Okay? You know what I'm saying? That's like... You know, I mean, we should be getting more information than this. And then some of these, they have like a CD scanned, but they don't have fucking, you know, they don't have large scale. Like I've seen areas where CDs are scanned, but we don't see what's on the CDs. You know, all of them probably have Trump in them. I don't think that's the case at all. I just think the way they redacted them is crazy. Right? I don't think anything that has Trump in it has even been shown yet. Right? Like, I mean, obviously with the nude stuff, you're going to redact the bodies, but like some of this shit doesn't need to be redacted as fully, like with complete black squares like that, where they have everything just completely blocked off. But anyway, so here's my thing. Let me just go on the record first off and saying with this whole thing, because obviously we have like, there's like Noam Chomsky, there's Clinton, there's Spacey, there's fucking, you know, Chris Rock, there's, you know, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, like Sergey Brin, many people, reporters, heads of state, many people across many things all had interactions with Epstein. Okay. Now, not every one of those was sexing up teenage girls. Okay? That's factual. Like, we don't know who among all those people pictured with Epstein were hooking up with girls and who were just there trying to get his money. Okay? Right? We don't know. Say Dems are so weak, it's pathetic. Let's go, Fallen. I don't know what you mean by that, but fucking, maybe you can explain that in detail. So we don't know, okay? We don't know who, right? We don't know who did what, and we're never going to know, right? We're never going to know. We'll never know if Bill Gates slept with kids or if Bill Gates didn't, okay? We don't. You can only say that you can assume everybody who, right? You can assume everybody, like people will assume everybody who was connected was involved. But at the end of the day, we're never going to know. That's one of the things that makes this really fucking difficult to sort of figure out, okay? There's no way to fucking, Chris Tucker, right? There's no way, thank you. There's no way to sort out who was hooking up and who wasn't, okay? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? There is like, that's an impossible thing to figure out, okay? So everybody is going to assume one way or the other. But so the thing about this though, Bethel, is my thing about this is Bethel, I don't care about anybody but DJT, okay? Right now, DJT is the president and he was Epstein's best friend. So much like we wanted to see Trump's taxes, which he never showed, it's like, if you're going to be the president now, you got to show us everything about you and Epstein from this day forward. You don't get to be fucking president unless we see all of your connection to Epstein. Okay, if Gavin Newsom becomes president, we're going to damn well know if Gavin Newsom is in those files. That's why the only person important is fucking Trump. None of these other people are important because they're not the fucking president. Okay, you need to get that through your thick skulls, people, that the reason it's important is because he is the fucking president. Okay, Bill Clinton's never going to have a political career. His career is done. Okay, Bill Gates is never going to have a political career. He's not running for Senate or anything because we now know his attachment. He is tainted. But the whole point is the only fucking person important in those files is Donald Trump and every other politician that's currently in office. Okay? If they're currently in office, it's important. If they're not currently in office, I don't give a fuck. Okay? But if they're a donor or if they are currently in office, then yeah, we want to see that shit. We want to know. We want all those files like put out in the world. Okay? That's the point. That's why Bill Clinton, I don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? Dude, James, let's go. Fuck Bill Clinton. Put him in jail. I don't care. Go arrest his ass. I'm not going to go protest. The point is if you're in office now, right? If you're in office now and you're a rapist, that I want to know about, okay? That's the point. Dude, that's the point. And I don't think the Republicans seem to understand this fucking thing, that the only people right now that are important in these files are people that are currently in office or people that are currently the president, okay? Or people that are currently like influencing public policy, right? Like Peter Thiel, let's see his connections. That motherfucker is creating all the Palantir software that's monitoring us. So if this guy is collecting all our information and if this guy is monitoring us, then yeah, we should absolutely fucking know what the connection is. And Christine, you know, the thing that's, I agree with you, Christine, that like, of course, we want to know who abused the teenage girls. But the reality is I don't know. I don't know if we're ever going to know those answers, right? You know, I mean, the only way we're going to know those answers is if if we unredact some of that shit and we hear about who's being accused, right? You know what I'm saying? Because even with this shit, like even with Bill Clinton, okay, Bill Clinton, he was on the plane. There's all those pictures of him in the hotel, but I've not heard a single victim claim that Bill Clinton hooked up with them. Okay? I haven't heard that. Nobody said that they hooked up with Bill Clinton. There are some people that have said Trump hooked up with them. There are some people that have said Trump was taking pictures with topless teenage girls. Okay? There are people who said they were hooked up with, you know, Bill Richardson and Ehud Barak and Prince Andrew. Okay? And like, and you know, then some people, Virginia Giuffre, never said their names. So like, I mean, I'm with you that I would like to know who all was like accused in these filings and unredact that shit. But my primary concern though is that A, Donald Trump is president right now. Okay. B, he was deeply involved in this shit and aware of all this and like still leading an abusive administration. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fact that ICE is abusive and the fact that our rights are being trampled on are connected to the fact that there's a rapist in the White House. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, dude, for me with Clinton, like Lewinsky and her consensual relationship with Clinton, that was enough for me to like be like, ew, like Bill's done. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill is done, dude. His career is done, you know? I think it's possible that Epstein was CIA and they don't want us to know. See, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know what being CIA is, right? Because George Bush was CIA, right? 𝗙ście𝗶𝗆 was CIA. And so when you say he was CIA, like, or he was Mossad, like, what does that mean? That sounds like it's a fairy tale that is cooked up by conspiracy theorists, right? Because if he was really some deep entrenched CIA, I don't think we would have ever heard about this to begin with. You know what I mean? Like if he was deeply CIA, I don't think he would have been interviewed by Vanity Fair magazine in 2003, right? I mean, you got to remember, guys, back in 2003, before this sex shit came out, he was being interviewed by like major publications, okay? So I don't think a CIA operative, I don't think they would let them have a front page spread in Vanity Fair magazine. I think CIA agents or somebody that was working undercover would probably be a little more discreet than that. You know, that seems like it would be real dangerous if you were a Mossad agent to be getting these front page spreads and you're literally pictured with Donald Trump and all these other guys that get press all the time. How dangerous would that be to be a Mossad agent, but have your face in the paper every other day? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, that doesn't mean he might know people that are in Mossad and have contacts in there or whatever internationally and be feeding people information. But I don't believe that he was some kind of a secret agent because those agents usually, if they get discovered, their lives are over. So they're like super discreet. Like they're not people that end up with their faces in the fucking paper and shit. They go out of their way to, right? Because that could bring down the whole government. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, dude. I mean, am I CIA? I am not. I am not. Or maybe I am, and I'm just telling you I'm not, because that's my big front. You know, I think we have a tendency, we the people of the general public, I think we kind of like, we've watched too many, you know, dude, what's the Keanu Reeves fucking movie? Dude, what's the Keanu Reeves movie where he, with the hotel, fucking John Wick. Yeah, we've watched too many John Wick and James Bond movies, guys. You know what I'm saying? We have, where we think that, oh, that's really the way it works, dude, that you're this like fucking, you know? Dude. Dude, it's like too many, right? Like there's this secret Mossad hotel where everybody meets. That's what Candace Owens is talking about with the Egyptian planes, dude. It's like a John Wick episode where the planes, there's a secret room in there and Erica walks in and all the Mossad agents come out and there's a big fucking map of the United States and all the things she's planning. It's like, dude, what are we doing, bro? It's you know, that shit is dramatized. Dude, right? You know, dude, you got us hooked on Clandis. Now you don't think stars are real? That's funny. Oh, shit. But anyway, again, though, look at all the redactions, bro. This is insane, dude. Like, there is so much redacted. Like, this is too much redacted. You know what I'm saying? Like, too much of this shit is redacted. This is like an exercise class. Okay, these are pictures in the gym. So they're in a gym exercise class. And again, though, like this is the Clinton file, right? But Bill Clinton's not really in any of these pictures, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't seen Bill Clinton in any of these photos yet. And yet these are in the Clinton files. Right? So I think that's interesting. It's a lot of people that are redacted here, boss. But you ready though, guys? You ready? If you want to talk about something about Clinton, okay? If you want to talk about something about where responsibility falls, I think we need to look at this document, guys. And what this document is this is Maria Farmer's original report with the FBI. Okay? This is her report from 1996. Okay? September 3rd of 1996. And Maria Farmer filed a complaint with the FBI about Jeffrey Epstein, and she said it was for child pornography, right? And then there's redacted information, and she said that she's a professional artist, took pictures of her sisters, aged 12 and 16, for her personal artwork. Epstein stole the photos and negatives and is believed to have sold them to buyers. He at one time requested to take the pictures of those young girls at swimming pools. He's now threatening her that if she says anything, he will burn her house down. Okay? Now, this is her original report. Now, she filed this in 1996 and the FBI never looked into it. They never checked out Jeffrey Epstein. They never even contacted her for like 10 years. They didn't go back and contact her until after he got arrested the first time. And then she talked about Epstein and Donald Trump and told him stories of other shit that happened in Epstein's offices, like the night she went there and Trump showed up. They never followed up on any of that. Okay, so this is actually really interesting that they had this report on Epstein. They never even followed up. Okay, this is the FBI. Okay, the FBI didn't follow up by talking to her, getting more information. They didn't investigate Epstein. They didn't even start an open case. Okay, right? Fucking 96. Think about the hundreds and hundreds of women that maybe wouldn't have suffered if that had been followed. Now, that happened while Clinton was president. Okay? Bill Clinton was president when this happened. Bill Clinton, let's see who was the director of the FBI. 96 was 𝗙𝗎𝗄𝗽. All right. So this guy right here, Free, is it Free or Frey? Dude, do we know how to pronounce his name? Dude, I want to know how to pronounce that fucking name, bro. But this guy was the FBI director. Is it Free? Okay. Louis Free. All right. So this guy's FBI, okay? This guy's FBI, this guy was FBI, head of the FBI at the time that shit was ignored. Right? Dude, there you go. So this dude bears some fucking responsibility, man. For sure. This guy was in charge of an FBI that never even checked that shit out. Now, again, though, we don't know why the FBI didn't check it out. Did the FBI not check it out because Bill Clinton got wind of it and was like, no, we don't want to go in there? Did it not get checked out because Jeffrey Epstein had friends inside the FBI? I mean, it's possible. This guy was a billionaire. This guy was friends with Bill Clinton. This guy was friends with a lot of, these very, very, the wealthiest people and the heads of state. Ehud Barak, right? When was Ehud Barak prime minister of Israel? He was prime minister of Israel from 99 to 2001, okay? And so he wasn't prime minister yet, but he was fucking, he was definitely a political figure. He was the chief of staff, okay? He was a chief of general staff at that time, right? Or he had just been. So he was a biggie in the military, in politics. This was somebody that Epstein knew, right? I mean, he was close with all these guys. So maybe he had people that covered his ass in the FBI. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. But I know that is suspect, right? And this, though, makes you wonder, like, what's going on with our FBI, right? Why didn't the FBI follow up on a case that was reporting child SA, right? I mean, that's pretty startling, guys, that somebody called the FBI and left a report about child SA, and the FBI never even looked into it. They took that paper, they put it in a folder somewhere, and they just moved it along. Okay? Dude, I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Now, obviously the FBI they can't follow up on every single clue they get. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can't, because I'm sure they get so many reports that a lot of them are garbage. But you would think they would look up, right? They get this thing, and then they get the name, and they run the name Jeffrey Epstein, and they see that Jeffrey Epstein is like, a wealthy fucking person with a lot of connections. I mean, I'm sure if they fucking asked around, maybe they found out that Jeffrey Epstein was somebody who knew Bill Clinton, and so they were just like, zilch it. I mean, I don't know, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. There's no way to identify why that didn't get followed up. But I think that's a pretty big deal, guys. Okay? Yeah. Now Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was definitely had some sort of connections to, Israeli intelligence. We don't know how deep those connections were, but there is like some definite suspicion that Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was connected to Israeli intelligence. But guys, it's hard to the thing though that's hard is it's hard to know what that means, because George Bush was connected to CIA intelligence, right? George Bush's dad, right? Like Bush, you know, redneck Bush. These people really released a ream of black construction paper and called it good investigation. I'm so sick of this BS. You're not wrong, May Money, right? I mean, like, think about this, guys. Think about this. Yeah, May Money is spot on, but think about this, guys. George, the first Bush, okay, right? Bush 1 was the head of the CIA, okay? So younger Bush was like connected to the CIA, right? Bush, Reagan's VP, and then later the president was the head of the CIA. So, like, I mean, somebody being involved with intelligence doesn't necessarily mean they're, like, you know, nefariously doing this crazy, like, that doesn't automatically make them like the Bourne Identity. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I mean, you know, not covering for these guys, because obviously when you go back and look at Bush as VP, there was Iran-Contra, and there was all kinds of nefarious shit. They were backdooring with the Iranians to thwart Jimmy Carter rescuing the hostages. There was a lot of shit that went on during the Reagan era that was because H.W. Bush had been connected to the fucking CIA, bro. Okay? You know what I mean? But a lot of these politicians are somehow connected, you know, like, you know, we have Alyssa Slotkin, Spanberger. I mean, there are a lot of people. Yeah, dude, Bush was the director, right? Of course, which is why Ollie North and all that shit that went on was going on with Bush in there. You know what I'm saying? Goodlander. Yeah, no, there's a bunch. I mean, it's pretty common to go, guys, from the law enforcement or military to politician is a pretty common jump, right? I'm law enforcement. That means I'm one of the good guys, you know? Right? Dude, Bush Sr. was a World War II pilot. Dude, Bush Sr. was the CIA director, boss. All right? He was the fucking head of the CIA, dude. Let's see, when he was... There's only 80 mentions. He was an op in the CIA during the 60s, right? Oh, they're saying, he denied that he was an op. All right, so when was he the director? So he was... Dude, they seem to downplay that shit, right? They really do, boss. They downplay this shit. So from only for a year, all right? So it was for a year. Appointed by Ford. Right? 1 year. 1 year in fucking Ford's fucking thing. But, so, I mean, he definitely had access, right? Dude. But it's funny how they sort of downplay this. Like, they don't really talk much about this. Right? In his Wikipedia, they fucking sort of gloss over it. And then there's like, there is, there's some questioning as to whether he was actually a CIA operative. He denies it. I will say this, though, guys. You ready? So I will say this. I think most people Okay, when you have somebody like 𝗙𝗪𝗪 or you have somebody like Abigail Spanberger, I think when you have people who talk about being in the CIA, that they are like rank and file. They're like interpreters or they are agency, like paper pushers that somehow work in the agency. I think the people that are actually operatives in the CIA, you never even know that they worked in the CIA. And they will go their entire life never even mentioning that they ever were connected to the CIA. I think the ops are those people that they don't then say, hey, I worked in the CIA. You know what I'm saying? They have people that are ops that literally could be your fucking neighbor right now. And that guy will retire at 70 and you will never, ever, he will never mention to anyone that he ever worked for the CIA at all. That's kind of how that job fucking works. I think when people say they worked at the CIA, they were like paper pushers. They were people that were, you know, they were translators. They were researchers. They were, you know, whatever, like, you know, like field agents or whatever that had a public facing job, you know what I'm saying? That anybody who is an operative is like never worked for the CIA for life, kind of, you know? Right? Dude, Obama and George Bush are cousins. Dude. Oh. But yeah, man. All right. That's interesting, though. It's interesting that they downplay him. All right. But yeah, so this one I thought was pretty wild. Now, the other thing I noticed is look at this. I just pulled up some random shit. Okay. I've been looking through just grabbing random folders here. And so they have like an evidence folder. And then they photograph all this and they have everything in here. But look at everything in here is fucking redacted, bro. I mean, look at this shit, dude. Every folder is like 95% fucking redacted. All these phone messages, everyone is redacted, man. Right? And so, you know, this is shit that they dug out in his trash. Okay, when the Palm Beach police started fucking, that's why a lot of this paper is crumpled. When Palm Beach police started investigating Epstein, one of the first things they did was they went through his trash. They would go and collect his trash every day and sift through it. And they saved all this shit. So it's a bunch of notes that were crumpled up and thrown away, right? Papers that had been tossed out. But like, dude, everything in here is like, so much of this is redacted. Like all of these, like the level of redaction is like insane. Okay. It is insane. And then they did this other shit too. Like, look at this, guys. Look at this. Here is they photographed the CDs, Epstein and case files. So we've got photocopies of the CDs. So there's 16 CDs, but like, where are the files that are on these CDs, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we have all the CDs, but like, I don't know that we actually have the files that are on there. They're showing us the fucking CDs, right? And maybe, I don't know, I'd have to look through. Maybe some of this is stuff from those CDs. But like, dude, it's just a very strange, the way they have this shit put out, right? It's a lot of it is a little bit hard to follow, right? And they have fucking, I mean, look at this one. This one is listed twice, right? Like 7998 PDF and then 7998 PDF. So there's like multiple listings. I've seen a lot of this too. Okay. Some of those are DVDs of his victims. I mean, maybe they very well could be DVDs of his victims, but they should be marked then. Like, right? Like, I think even then, if you're going to do a release of the files, right? Let's say that this, okay, is a DVD, right? It says CDs, right? And not DVDs, but let's say, right? I think a lot of what it says here is these, I mean, it does say DVD on there. I don't know if it's files or if it's videos, but if this were a proper release, it would have like a listing, disc 1, okay? 42 videos. Video 1 is Jeffrey Epstein and engaged in an act with Jane Doe, who's believed to be about 14 years old. Video 2, Jeffrey Epstein engaged in an act with Bill Gates and, Jane Doe, believed to be about this age, right? Like, all of that shit could be categorized in a way that protects the victims and shows us exactly what evidence they have. Like, it should be released like that. A descriptive, like, cataloging of every incident and shit. You know what I'm saying? Every incident. And you know what I mean? Like, that to me would be acceptable, because then we'd know what's in there, And anyways, for the thing about this, to somebody who's asking about the recording your crimes, so you got to understand that people who do like crazy sex crimes like this, okay, where if Jeffrey Epstein is recording himself with people, he's not even thinking about it being a crime, okay? These types of sociopathic personalities, they don't consider themselves to be committing crimes. They're literally just, like keeping trophies is what it is. It's like trophies. And they don't think they're like committing crimes. They're sociopaths. They don't think the law has any meaning, and it's more about collecting trophies. I mean, it's the same way that, like, when people murder people, serial killers, they'll hold on to like the scarf or the gloves or the underwear of the person they killed. And it's because it's a trophy, right? They can sit down and they'll like smell it or hang out with that item, and they're able to relive the act in their head. I mean, it's pretty, the people that commit these kind of crimes of power, they store them, and then they hold on to things to trigger the memory of that power. It is an addiction cycle. It is very much an addiction cycle. And then having a video of it is like, you're really powerful. I mean, think about guys who send out revenge porn of their ex-girlfriends. It's a power play. Aha! I'm exposing you to the whole world. I can expose you to the whole world if you make me mad enough, right? The whole thing, they can use it to threaten the victims with, I'll release this, I'll show everybody what you did, and it's a power play. So, I mean, it's very complicated. But they don't think about, like, the fact that they committed a crime at all. They don't. I don't think they think it's a crime. That's the whole point. If they thought it was a crime, they probably wouldn't do it. I think they think it's like, they probably think the crime is the stupid law, right? I mean, dude, it's crazy. Like, I only say this because one of the half brothers who molested me committed some grapes of women as he got older, okay? And he's in prison for it. But like, man, when you talk to him, when you talk to this half brother of mine, he was horribly abused as a kid too, which is not an excuse, but, I mean, abuse and certain types of, life things can take somebody with a predilection for crime and push them over the edge, right? But so the point being that when you talk to my half brother who committed those crimes, he does not get it, okay? To him, the only crime is that he got caught, okay? You know what I mean? Like, he does not even, like, for him, his whole thing, even after he, like, assaulted a woman at knife point, and held her captive for like 6 hours. He went to prison for this shit. And if you talk to him, he will only tell you how he was railroaded. And he will tell you how he was abused during the trial. And they never gave him a fair shot to tell his side of the story. Like, he doesn't even see the woman he abused as a human being. Like, he has no concept of what he did. He literally can only see his own, the way he was offended. I mean, like, Donald Trump is a fucking sociopath. I mean, you got to tell me you didn't think of Donald Trump when I was telling you that story. Like, they just don't get it. They don't see things. Like, they don't have feelings for their victims. They don't, right? They have like a sense of shame buried in there for the act, but then the way they respond to that shame is by how victimized they are. It's like a self-victimization, right? It's fucked up. But I think this shit should be cataloged, guys. It is crazy. And guys, that's why I've had a lot of experience with sociopaths. Like, half of my family are sociopaths, dude. Dude, I'm not even joking. Like, they are sociopaths. And growing up in that environment was like really weird, boss. It was like, it was, I don't know. And that's, though, I guess that's one of the things that's crazy is thinking about the sociopaths in my in my family, and thinking about how closely tied we were to religion and the church. And you see how like religious leaders and sociopaths are often like not very far apart. Like, here's a religious leader and here's a sociopath, right? They're like, I don't know, man. There is a sociopathy to these religious people, like the ones that, shit on trans people and demonize the LGBTQ, but they don't see anything wrong with it. There's like, many of them are sociopathic, and they use their religion to give them an anchor and to sort of like wield their sociopathic tendencies as one of the good guys. This is why religion is so toxic. It provides an environment for sociopathic people to have hate campaigns and to have campaigns of like genocide and like outrageous like ethnic cleansing or group fucking imprisonment and shit like that, or segregation. I mean, a lot of the shit, like the slave owners, I'm sure many of those slave owners were sociopaths. Like, I mean, you had to be. If you weren't a sociopath, you couldn't fucking own slaves, I mean, that's why this sociopathy and this type of sadist shit is like in our DNA. It's in our generational fucking trauma, man. There is nobody who owned slaves who wasn't a fucking sociopath. Like, there's just no fucking way, bro. You had to be. And the way they dealt with their sociopathy was to believe in God. And the Bible says, just be good to your slaves and you're cool. And so they're like, okay, I'm going to believe in the Bible because the Bible says I can own these people and I'm righteous doing it. And now I'm going to go beat him because he didn't pick enough cotton today. And like, dude, that's our fucking, like, the generational trauma here in America, guys. You wonder why we're so fucked up. Dude, that's it. That's America. Welcome to it. It's fucked up, bro. But yeah, man. So they show the folders. There's like photo lineups here where I guess they talked to the victims. They had photo lineups that had Epstein and then other stand-ins when this was from the Palm Beach investigation. All right. The Palm Beach police investigation is really interesting, right? This is when they started, like, I guess looking for victims their pamphlets and shit after, right? After the case first came forward. I found the Palm Beach section really interesting. You know, like I said, I haven't really had time to sit through this, but this is the meat. Like if you search Palm Beach, you're going to find all of the information from the original investigation after that one girl's stepmother found her daughter with like $300. She called the Palm Beach police and said, hey, my stepdaughter's been giving massages to this rich guy, and there's like some SA going on, and the cops like investigated everybody. They started grabbing Epstein's trash, started doing police lineups, interviewing all these young Palm Beach girls, and discovering this huge SA ring that existed in Palm Beach. But a lot of this stuff is like, feels like they left out. Okay, they left out a lot of things. Okay, they have evidence slips. This is all from like 2006. All right, and they have like micro cassettes of interviews, but there's no transcriptions. Okay, this is another thing that's really interesting. Like, why do we have a bunch of micro cassettes where, oh great, they photographed the micro cassette, they redacted what's on it, and then we don't have any transcripts of the interview. You know what I mean? And so, dude, this is just really shoddy, the way they're releasing this shit. You know, the way they're releasing this shit is crazy, that like there's so much that we don't know. Okay? You know, there's pay stubs, but we don't know who's what. So this is one of the things that I thought was just really interesting. Okay, here's an incident report. What is this? These are, I guess, incident reports from all the victims, right? Oh, let's look at this one. Okay, this is a crazy incident report. Ready? So this is from September 20th of 2005. All right. It says on 3/14/2005, I received a call from a woman who did not wish to identify herself, later identified as blank. She stated that her 14-year-old stepdaughter, oh my God, guys, this is the original report. This is the original report. She stated that her 14-year-old stepdaughter, later identified as blank, possibly may have been blank in Palm Beach by a wealthy man. According to blank, she learned of the possible blank by a third party. She explained that she had received a call from the mother of her stepdaughter's friend. The mother claimed to have overheard a conversation between her daughter and a male friend. They were talking about blank. The conversation was about how blank had met with a 45-year-old man, had sex with him, and was paid for it. I advised blank that I would like to meet with her to obtain a more detailed statement and facts. Blank stated she did not know what to do and had to discuss the matter with her husband. At this point, blank did not provide me with a callback number or any other information. She stated that she would contact with me once she spoke with her husband and blank's mother. Okay? So this, right? This is the type of shit that all of this stuff should be broken down, where, okay, cover the names, but make it so we still get the story, you know? I mean, it's like you can't piece anything together without the story. And no, this is not Virginia 𝗙𝗡𝗅. No, this was somebody random. Virginia 𝗙𝗡𝗅 came later, guys, because Virginia 𝗙𝗡𝗅, just to let you know, she was not involved with the case at all. Epstein put her in massage school in Thailand, and then she met a guy there from Australia, and she ran away. She ran away from Epstein. She went to Australia and just hid and started a completely new life and just completely abandoned everything. Her apartment, everything she had in Florida just was like gone. And then years later, after this case broke, Epstein and Maxwell found her, and then eventually a reporter found her, and people like she got involved after he had already gone to jail. Okay, she was involved in the crimes before these girls were, right? Like she was one of the earliest people in the 2000s doing this type of stuff, but she was long gone by the time he got arrested. And then she came back later and decided, I want to make a difference. And then she came back and got involved, started working with that lawyer, Bradley Edwards. And eventually she sued Ghislaine Maxwell for defamation when she came out and talked to the press, and Ghislaine Maxwell defamed her, and she sued Ghislaine Maxwell for defamation. And then the depositions and all this shit took place that put all of this stuff on the record. And that's when the reporters found it. So she was not part of the original arrest or him getting busted in any way. She was more part of like unearthing it all and making it so the press found out about it after this original case had been buried. In the beginning, all these girls that started this were like high schoolers and middle school girls that were just day to day going to Epstein, giving him massages and bringing their friends. And they were like girls from the lower economic scale. They were not girls that he was necessarily traveling with. Maybe one here or there would travel with. But for the most part, these girls that cracked this case open were like, a lot of them were like one and dones, or girls that showed up and did a few massages at the Palm Beach place and found friends, but they weren't going to the island and stuff, you know? And so, I mean, he had like levels of girls, right? He had girls that just ran through the house and found new girls. Then he had girls that he took to New York and to Paris and to the island. And then he had girls that managed all the girls that had used to be girls that he took to the island that were now like running the show. So he had like I don't know, it's weird when you research it. It's almost like a terrorist cell. Okay, because he ran it like a terrorist organization where he had levels of like girls and then he had groups of them that were separate. Like some of the girls that went to New York never went to the island. And the girls that were in Palm Beach, many of them never went to New York, right? In order to be a girl from Palm Beach that went to New York or went to the island, you had to be like a higher level of trust. Right? There was like oftentimes the girls that went to the island, right? You hear this again. He'd bring 5 girls to the island and none of the girls would know each other. None of them would know each other. Okay. The lieutenants knew each other and the people that were running it, but he would bring girls to the island and all of the girls didn't know each other. So that way they were like, it was like he was protected, because if the girls know each other, then they're talking and then maybe they're conspiring and shit like that, right? And so he was very like careful to keep everybody separated and keep it so there was never going to be like a mutiny. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's pretty gnarly. I mean, he was not stupid, you know. He was very sharp at this, okay? So it looks like with this, all right, that there was an initial call and then they came in. Mr. Blank, accompanied by his wife, came to the Palm Beach Police Department where they advised me they believe their 14-year-old daughter may have had some type of sexual relationship with an older male who resided in Palm Beach. Neither knew the suspect's name or address. Both stated that their daughter did not talk to them about the incident, nor would she admit it. So they knew something was up, but they didn't have his name, okay? She believed the incident occurred on Sunday, February 6, 2005. A friend picked her up at their house and left, initiated the relationship with the older gentleman, though they did not have any proof. So in the beginning here, they didn't even have the girls admitting it. It was just the parents being like, man, which is crazy. Because you know, guys, how sometimes we have somebody in chat who'll hear about Epstein and be like, where are the parents? Where are the parents? It's like now we're discovering that it was actually some parents that sussed this out and ended up blowing the whistle on it, even though their daughters were refusing to admit it because they didn't want to get in trouble, you know? Which, I mean, I guess I understand. Like, these girls were pretty damaged. You know? But look at this. They have the whole incident report, and here it is. Supposedly, the man has a lot of money. Often as young girls come over to his house, blank offers these girls a way to make fast cash. The man starts with a massage. If he likes them, he keeps them around and does more. The blank did not have any information on blank other than she lives on blank. Right? An incident that occurred on February 9th, got into a fight at school, found over $300 in her purse, gave different explanations for the large sum of money. Initially, the school administration thought it was drug-related, okay? So this is how it got uncovered, right? Somebody a girl got in a fight at school, and the principals, the school officials found $300 in her wallet and was like, why do you have $300? Dude, isn't that crazy? And then the parents are like, wait, why do you have $300? This is 2005. There was no high school girl that should be walking around with $300 in her fucking purse, right? Isn't that crazy? And the fight was instigated when blank accused blank of being a prostitute. So it sounds like the girl was talking about her experience with Epstein and somebody called her a prostitute and the fight took place and then they found the money. And then eventually the parents found out about it and yada, yada, yada. Dude, isn't that wild? Oh, here we go. And here's more. Blank identified blank boss as a white male named Jeff who lived in Palm Beach, later positively identified as Jeffrey Epstein. Blank explained she was first approached by blank to go with her to Jeff's house when they were at blank house. According to blank, she was not exactly sure what was going on with blank, but agreed to go with her. So you can see with this initial report how detailed it is. All right. Blank recalled that Jeff's house was on a dead-end street. All three girls walked up a driveway past what appeared to be a small guard security room. In fact, blank recalled a white male approaching them, asking them what they wanted. Blank stated they were there to see Jeff. The male allowed them to continue walking up to the house. So they have the whole ritual here described with like multiple young women. Blank and blank left the kitchen, leaving blank. All right, let's go with this here. They walked up to the house. Blank stated the man told them that Epstein was not there, but was expected back. He allowed them to enter the home via the kitchen. He offered them something to drink while they waited inside. Shortly after, Epstein and a woman described as white with blank hair entered their kitchen. Blank believed the woman was Epstein's assistant. Blank added that the woman did not seem friendly, kept her responses short and direct. Epstein introduced himself to blank as Jeff. Blank got the impression Epstein and blank friend knew each other. Blank described Epstein as being approximately 45 years old, a long face, bushy eyebrows with graying hair. Blank and blank left the kitchen, leaving blank and blank friend alone in the kitchen. They returned a short time later. They all spoke briefly. While speaking to me, blank became upset and started to cry. Blank stated the woman instructed her to follow her upstairs, which she did. According to blank, the woman led her to a room that had a massage table in it. The woman started to fix up the room, putting out the covers on the table, taking lotions out. She then told blank that Epstein would be up in a second. The woman left the room, and soon after, Epstein walked in and told blank to take off her clothes. As blank was telling me what had happened, she looked away from me and with a pointed finger repeatedly pressed it into her thigh. Stated he was stern when he told her to take off her clothes, said she did not know what to do. She was the only one there. She blank shirt, leaving her bra on. Epstein, dressed in a towel, told her to take off everything. She removed her pants, leaving her thong panties on. Epstein then instructed her to give him a massage, pointing to a specific lotion for her to use, etc., etc. It's going to go into the act, right? And you know, then abused her and gave her $300. Dude, it's crazy. Man, it's fucked up. And so anyway, like look at this report though, guys. Okay, we're not going to read the whole thing, but the point being is look at this incident report, guys. This is like many girls' stories, okay? They collected this. This is an incident report of many girls telling their stories and like having multiple visits to the house, recalling all this shit, okay? Now, the point being is that they have this kind of information on Ehud Barak, Prince Andrew, and certainly Trump, Clinton, whomever hooked up on this. They have these things. If Bill Gates hooked up with a girl at the island, there is a report somewhere in these files of that girl picking out Bill Gates' picture in a lineup, okay? Because you got to remember, okay? Think about this. If you go back to like 2005, okay, 2006, 2004, whatever, when this was going on, if they took a young girl to the Virgin Islands, to Little St. James, and they brought in Ehud Barak or Bill Gates or whomever, the girls didn't know who those guys were, okay? They didn't know who Bill Gates were. They didn't know Bill Gates from anyone. This was like easily recognizable internet, and these girls were in high school or middle school. They didn't know who Ehud Barak was. They didn't know Bill Richardson, the governor of New Mexico. They had no idea. So what the agents did, what the FBI agents did and the police did, is they created lineups. And Virginia Giuffre talks about this in her book. When they interviewed her, when the FBI did, is they brought out photographs and said to Virginia, who among these did Epstein loan you out to? And then they would pick like this guy and this guy. It was only then that they learned the names of who these guys were, because Jeffrey Epstein, when he outsourced a girl and took her to like a hotel or whatever to service a guy, he never told them the name. The girls had no idea, okay? They had no idea who these people were. They had no idea. They just knew that they were wealthy and older. They knew what they looked like. And then later, right? Later, they were shown photographs and were then finding out the names, okay? So it's like not as simple as we think it is, having all the information, you know? Right? Call out Bill Gates. He seems not be getting enough hate. Yeah, I mean, see, again, it's just hard because we don't know who did what. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. We don't know who did what. Right? But so here they're talking about collecting the trash, right? On or about September 27th, 2005, I responded to El Brillo Way, met with PB. I observed blank enter the driveway at El Brillo and remove one plastic bag of trash and place it in the back of an empty blank truck. I then followed blank to a predetermined location and seized the trash from the truck. The trash was transported to Palm Beach police. So here they're describing how they collected his trash and started going through all that shit. I mean, dude, this report is insane, right? And again, I'm not going to read through it all now, but there is a lot of really good information here in some of this stuff. But the problem is, guys, is I feel like we're not seeing this with the wealthy client people and the friends of Epstein. And that's part of the problem that I have, okay? Is, you know what I'm saying? Is like, we get all the information when the victims are, you know, the survivors are like teenage girls and they're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. But if we're talking about Prince Andrew, if we're talking about Donald Trump, if we're talking about even Bill Clinton, we're not seeing detailed reports about, you know, what happened. And I think that that's a little bit of a little problematic, you know? But yeah, if you want to look at some shit here, I would say search Palm Beach, okay? Search Palm Beach, okay? Like here are the things to search. Obviously, you can search individuals like Clinton. You can search Trump. You could search, you know, by survivor name. But if you search Palm Beach, you're going to find all of the stuff related to the original investigation, okay? If you search New York, you're going to find stuff related to his fucking, you know, to his thing. Like, we should be able to search Little St. James, and we might find stuff related to the island, okay? That is, you know, depositions related to the island. Looks like here's a complaint. The Virgin Islands versus Epstein, right? This is probably when they're going after his assets. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here, guys. I don't know about you, but I feel a little bit overwhelmed even looking at this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's look at some people here. Somebody mentioned Julie K. Brown. Let's look at Julie K. Brown, shall we? So let's look at her article in the Herald. All right. Says heavily, see, it is, yeah, no, it is very, like I'm telling you guys, this is just it too. Why, I don't know. I question the Bondi strategy. Okay, I do, because I think it was a big mistake for them to start with the Bill Clinton images like that. And you know, because this is going to be dug through for like years. Okay, it is. There's like 2 or 3 years of digging through this, you know, and so like the fact that they started off with the Bill Clinton photos, which are going to be in and out of the news cycle like in a couple of weeks, and he's not even a relevant political figure. It seems like a short-sighted move, right? Like, you know, and if anything, that maybe that's a sign that there's a lot deeper shit going on, that they had to start there. But people are going to be digging into this for fucking years, okay? And yeah, I guess expecting them to be smart about it is kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, that makes sense, right? That they're not going to be smart about it. But dude, it is pretty outrageous. Yeah. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot here. You know? So I mean, the level of redaction though, I mean, to go back to the Clinton photographs, like the level of redaction here, like here, finally, we see some pictures of Clinton at a wedding. Okay. But the level of redaction in here is insane, dude. Right. And Bill Clinton's not even in a lot of these photographs. Okay. There's obviously, there's people like that are, you know, there's definitely some topless photos and what have you. A lot of redaction, but we have completely redacted photos, like just tons of black squares. There were a lot of pages that were like just rock solid blacked out. Right? Obviously, there's some sort of like diplomatic meeting or something that, you know, there's Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell Are they at a piano? I think they are. Here they are in a fucking hotel. Trip to the Far East. But yeah, dude, the level of redaction, man, is just insane, bro. I mean, it's just completely blocked out. Like so much of this stuff. There's the jet. And it says dancing girls, yoga girls, right? Here's a TED conference in California. TED convention. I believe that is something that 𝗙ص𝗍𝗪 talked about. But so when you look up Trump, though, guys, most of the Trump shit that was released is pretty fucking is pretty basic. Like most of the Trump stuff is simply his mentions in legal copy. Okay, there was not a lot of Trump material. Certainly, I have not seen any photographs. All of this is Donald Trump being mentioned in the 𝗙ص𝗍𝗪 versus Maxwell. Like the times his name came up in lawsuits and in depositions. See, there is some indication that he was deposed, okay? Right? That he was deposed in the 𝗙ص𝗍𝗪 Maxwell like thing, but I've not seen a transcript of his deposition. And that's what's really interesting about it is most of this shit is literally just mentions of Trump in greater legal filings thus far. And now this is not the only thing. Now, guys, to mention with you the photo of Epstein with the giant check, that's from the birthday book, guys. Okay? That photo of the giant check. I know that photo is in here, but that is from the birthday book. It was in the birthday book, that image, right? So, but look at this too. Dude, look at this. For the Trump thing, look at what they released, guys. They released Ghislaine Maxwell's transcript from 2 months ago. Right? Okay. Dude, nobody needs to see that. Right? You know what I mean? Like literally, they released a bunch of shit that has like nothing to do with, like, we want Trump in the 90s. We want the stuff from the 90s, from the early 2000s. We want Trump's depositions. We want to see the photographs that include Trump. And right? And you can cover body parts and you can cover faces, but like all of this Trump shit is like, a lot of this is the recent stuff, right? Here's one. This is a Jane Doe from 2020, right? That fucking... During one of Doe's encounters with Epstein, he took her to Mar-a-Lago, where he introduced her to its owner, Donald J. Trump. Introducing 14-year-old Doe to Donald J. Trump, Epstein elbowed Trump, playfully asking him, referring to Doe, "This is a good one, right?" Trump smiled and nodded in agreement. They both chuckled, and Doe felt uncomfortable, but at the time was too young to understand why. Okay, so this one is in here, right? Epstein and Maxwell and this 13 and 14-year-old Jane Doe. Okay, but there's a mention of Trump, right? So that's the Trump in this whole thing. This is a Jane Doe lawsuit from from 2020. I'm not sure if this is the Katie Johnson one, right? Or if this was the Katie Johnson refiling or not, or if this is a different one, because Katie Johnson filing was in California, and then it got closed because there was no standing. It was not filed correctly, and then she refiled it later in New York. Hold on, when was Katie Johnson New York lawsuit? Let's find out here. I think this may be it. Oh no, hers was in 2016. Okay. So this one that we're looking at here, let me find it. This one is 2020. Well, it's tagged as 2020, but I don't know if this was filed on 2020. All right. All right, let's see if we can find some information here. Is it 𝗙𝗙𝗽𝗙𝗀𝗏𝗃? Oh no, it was Jane Doe. All right, 𝗙𝗙𝗽𝗏 was his lawyer. Okay. Yes, okay. Oh, this is the one. So look at this, guys. Dude, look at this. So there were multiple lawsuits in 2020. Yeah, thank you. So look, we had a Jane Doe in March. This is the one right here that we're looking at, which is Jane Doe filing a suit against executors 𝗙𝗽𝗽 and Richard Kahn. That's this lawsuit, which is 𝗙𝗽𝗽 and Richard Kahn. So it was a lawsuit against the estate and the two executors, okay? So this one is Jane Doe from March of 2020, okay? Then there was also a Jane Doe in January of 2020. I think these are the same Jane Doe, actually, okay? Jane Doe filed one against the estate, right? And then a separate suit filed against the executors themselves. So this is one Jane Doe. Then there were 9 Jane Does that filed a suit in August, okay, that go all the way back to 1975. And then there was another Jane Doe that did a separate one in August. So there were 12 women, 12 Jane Does that filed lawsuits in 2020 against Epstein and or his estate, going all the way back to 1975. And one of them is this woman right here, who talks about being introduced to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, and you know, Epstein being like, she's a good one, right? And Trump's like, yes, she is. Dude, isn't that crazy? That is fucking wild, right? That's fucking wild, boss, right? A lot of shit. Bro, it's going to be years, though, going through this, right? A lot of this is from the trial. Can't call them all Jane Doe. Dude, I mean, I'm not identifying them. You know, if I was talking about them in a legal context, we'd identify them. I'm not going to worry about the language while I'm sitting here making content, right? Because I'm not identifying these people, right? I'm merely speaking of them in a group of Jane Does. So we're not going to know who those women are, you know? You know what I'm saying? His island, no, so USVI, Pinky, is the United States Virgin Islands. So USVI refers to the whole Virgin Islands, right? And his island was Little St. James, right? His island was Little St. James, which is so, but USVI is like referring to, you know, it's like the state of California, right? When you see USVI, that's like referring to the entire U.S. territory of the Virgin Islands. Because they have a government, right? No, his was U.S. His was U.S. Virgin Islands. All right, so here we got flight logs. These are the Trump flight logs. We've definitely seen those. See, all the Trump shit, guys, for the most part, the thing about the Trump stuff is nothing that was released today. Nothing, okay, that was released today related to Donald Trump was stuff that we have not seen. Okay? That's kind of like what I guess is really telling about today is every single thing released today of Donald Trump is shit we already had. Okay? That's it. That's all they did. They did not release one piece of information on Donald Trump that was not already here. Okay? What is this one? This one is a Palm Beach Post. This, I guess, is a story about Epstein, a newspaper story that goes back when he was arrested for his original charges. Look at this. Here it is. You ready? So this was the story. It says a part-time Palm Beacher who has socialized with Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Kevin Spacey was jailed early Sunday with accused drug dealers, drunken drivers, and wife beaters after he was charged with soliciting a prostitute. Look at how they framed it in the press, guys. They framed it that he was charged with soliciting a prostitute. But like, these were not prostitutes. These were fucking teenage girls that were SA'd, and then he gave them money. And then he later, like when he got caught, he was like, oh, they were prostitutes. Dude, it's so fucked up, right? Manhattan money manager Jeffrey Epstein, 53, was picked up at his home on El Brio Way. He was released hours later on $3,000 bond. Okay, he was indicted last week by a state grand jury. The indictment containing the allegations remains sealed, of course. Right? He was charged with a third-degree felony instead of a misdemeanor. Right? A solicitation charge usually is elevated to a more serious felony when the defendant has at least 2 solicitation convictions. However, the checks of the court of records turned up no such convictions. So what's crazy is they didn't even know the details. Like the whole story was actually, right? The whole story was muted, right? Am I going to mention? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, the redaction standards are totally bunk, dude. Right? Like, if we look at this, what they did here, yeah, they buried it from everyone. Dude, they hid it. So the redaction, if you guys didn't know, the redaction standards weren't just victims. Okay? Okay? If you look at their redactions, right here. There it is. You ready? It says the Justice Department redacted the names and identifiers of victims. Fox News Digital has learned that the same redaction standards were applied to politically exposed individuals and government officials. So they redacted the victims, the identifiers of the victims, which means a job name or a cousin's name, a boyfriend's name, the type of car they drove, etc. Right? They applied it to politically exposed individuals and government officials, which means, Trump, right? It means all their buddies, right? Because obviously they didn't redact Bill Clinton, right? Dude. So he's a politically exposed individual. But they did not redact Bill Clinton, guys. Huh. That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, shit, boss. Bill's not a donor? No, he is not. Dude, isn't that shitty? Bro, what are we doing, man? Yeah, they're fucking around, dude. That shit is crazy. But yeah, the redaction is nuts, dude. The redaction is insane. Like this one? Like, look at that, dude. What the fuck is this, bro? 55 pages of completely redacted? Dude, there's no way. Like, if you want to redact the names of people, dude, what is MAGA saying about the redactions? MAGA's not saying anything about the redactions, guys. You know what MAGA's doing right now? They're jerking off to pictures of Bill Clinton. Okay, that's what MAGA is doing. MAGA's like, oh, Bill, oh. Dude, like Benny Johnson, dude, they're coping. Dude, look at Benny, all right? Look at Benny Johnson. He is, here's what he posted. He said, the Epstein file drop is absolutely damning for Bill Clinton. He's littered all throughout it. I mean, dude, it's not the whole files. Photos show him in Epstein's pool with Ghislaine Maxwell and a potential victim. Deeply disturbing, right? It seems Bill Clinton and Epstein were best friends, which, dude, right? I mean, they're just trying to spin this. Right? Now it's like, now they're not talking about Trump and Epstein being friends. It's now Clinton because they went on a fucking trip to Morocco. Right? And yeah, dude, the crazy shit about this though, guys, you ready? Let me just tell you. Okay? Again, I'm not going to say that Bill didn't do something, okay? Because he may very well have. He certainly has a personality to have done it. But everything they have of Bill Clinton that they released today was Bill Clinton out in public, okay? It was Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein at hotels, out in the streets where people are taking photos, at like official functions where they're being photoed, where Bill knows they're getting photoed. Like there was no hiding in any of these fucking photographs. You know what I'm saying? They're like out in the open in public places. These aren't from the island. These aren't any shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, they went to Morocco. They went on that African trip. Is that Mick Jagger? I don't know if that's Mick Jagger. Right? Was he on that trip? In Morocco? Is it? It is in Morocco, yeah. So you know what it was, though, guys? You ready, though? Look at this. But, guys, look at what it was. It was the wedding of King Mohammed. So, this photo, okay? These people were invited there, guys. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't like Jeffrey Epstein and Mick Jagger and Bill Clinton going to hang out in Africa. They were invited to this king's wedding. And so everybody's there at the wedding, right? Like that's the big gotcha. Like, dude, all of these people were invited to this king's wedding and they're being photographed together. But it's not like they were all just decided to go to Africa and like bang some chicks, right? You know what I mean? So like, That's like, there you go. All right, why are they all together? Oh, are they buddies? No, the king of Morocco invited them to his wedding. Right? Okay. And so, yeah, so Mick Jagger's going to hang out with Bill Clinton at the wedding, right? Epstein is there. I mean, we don't even know what their relationship was like. I mean, could they have been with girls? Sure, but not here. They weren't doing this shit at the king's wedding. Again, this is how I say all of these pictures are like public photos. They're not, you know, whereas if we see the photos, the Michael Wolff photos of Donald Trump with topless teenage girls by Epstein's pool, that's not public photos, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So I think there's a big difference here. Like, I haven't seen a single, again, this is at the king's wedding, okay? I haven't seen a single photo of these Clinton ones where it was like a private thing. There's no photos of Clinton at Epstein's 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗚 mansion. There's no photos of Clinton that I've seen of him on the island, okay? You know what I'm saying? Even this, they're sitting in a jacuzzi, but this is a hotel pool, okay? This is not Epstein's pool. This is at a hotel when they went to fucking Morocco for that king's wedding. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. And this was after he was president. This was 2002, guys. This was 2002. Okay? You know? Now again, I don't want to exonerate anybody, guys. I'm not saying that Mick Jagger didn't fuck around. I'm not saying that Bill Clinton didn't fuck around. We don't know. We can only assume they did. I'm just saying that the photographs that they're releasing are actually not because these guys were hanging out with Epstein specifically, but they were photos taken at a wedding, right? We should even reply. Let's reply to Benny. Fuckers. Dude, let's go. Tweet face. Oh, shit. Dude. Oh, shit. But I don't know, guys. I think here's what I think, though. Right? And look at this, dude. Look at how this shit ain't even trending, guys. Look at how Elon has Twitter locked down. Okay. Oh, you want a dance goal? Yeah, let's do a dance goal, dude. Fuck it. I forgot about it. Sorry, guys. I got fucking. We'll do a 30-minuter. All right, 30-minute dance party goal. Let's hit it. I'm a little wrapped up, obviously, dude. I'm super overwhelmed because I realize I'm probably gonna make like 100 videos on this shit. But I am very overwhelmed, guys. Like, this stuff is like a lot to process. There's like so much, but you'll notice what Elon has done on Twitter, where we got a thing about Pelosi, we got a thing about Georgia election, and we got a thing about raw milk, right? But there's not even an Epstein fucking trending thing. Okay? You know what I'm saying? There's not even a fucking trending thing. It is just a fucking, and again though, I think this is bad. I think Elon doing this actually works against him. Okay? It does. It works against him because the suppression of it is like, it only creates more suspicion and it makes people like work harder, right? When you see shit's being suppressed, you just know that. And I mean, Elon himself told us that Trump was in there. Okay? He told us, you're going to find out the truth. And believe me, the truth is going to come out. Okay? It absolutely is. Dude, Pinky, let's go. Dude, Brett goes, let's go, baby. Right? Dude, but this photo was from the birthday book, right? Look at this shit, though. Okay? Look at this redaction, right? Oh, that's a joke. All right. The government is the criminal. Dude, I almost got burned, right? But dude, they have redacted the shit out of this stuff. Okay? You know what I'm saying? 132 completely redacted pages. Okay? Dude, that shit is nuts. There should be no fully redacted pages. Dude, Proud Liberal, let's go, boss. Like, you want to redact names? Fine. But if you're going to redact entire fucking pages, like, bro, that is crazy. Uh-oh. Here's your problem. You better comply with the bill we passed, or we're going to get you when we're in charge. We need action, and not just from politicians. We need protests. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what kind of action you can do right now, guys. Like, I mean, that's just the thing, right? Like, it's like sort of thinking about the future of this. Like, we are now... You ready? We are now, like, we have several years. We have a several year fight that's going to take place now. Okay? And what's more is we don't have a lot of control. Like the number one thing we can do right now, honestly, when I think about this, like, if we want, right? If we want, like, big transparency with the Epstein files, okay? We want to, like, take on the DOJ. We want to get all of this shit released. We want to unredact some of this stuff. There's only really one way to do that, okay? And that I see, that is to take the House of Representatives, okay? If we take the House of Representatives, we control the investigative body, okay? The House of Representatives is the investigative body. They start all the investigations, right? The Oversight Committee, all the committees on, you know what I'm saying? So if we take the House, we can then, you know, much like they did with Hunter Biden, it could be the Epstein files would be the primary thing. But short of that, I don't think there's anything else we can do. Like, even if we were to win in court, the Supreme Court would probably just fuck us over anyway. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Nameless said Supreme Treason's Jesus would have already released this if he had dirt on Clinton. Believe that. Yeah, you're not wrong. So, like realistically, you know, even a court case to unseal this, I feel like would get fucked over by the Supreme Court because they're all in his pocket. So I think the only choice of action we have right now is to win the House, right? That's a must. if we win the House, then this will become one of the primary investigations for the remainder of the term, along with an investigation into Kristi Noem and Tom Homan and Pete Hegseth. Like, I think basically all of Trump's cabinet will get investigated, and Epstein leading right up to the election in 2028. And that would be arming us politically to beat J.D. Vance, right? And who I presume Erica Kirk is going to be his running mate. I'm calling that now. Maybe it won't happen, but I'm telling you right now, I think if all signs point to J.D. Vance, Erica Kirk, 2028. And they're going to try to center Charlie Kirk and left-wing violence. And if we take the House, we're going to center, corruption and fucking Jeffrey Epstein and lack of transparency and right. And that's going to be the battle in 2028. For vice president, a woman would never, for vice president, because she's not a woman. Okay, Erica Kirk's not a woman. She is the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk, right? That's what I think, right? Maybe they don't. Maybe she doesn't pull it off, but they're trying to build her into a political entity, right? You know how she's come out and she said, oh, we fully support J.D. Vance. We're going to help J.D. Vance win. I think they might put her on the ticket, boss, right? Dude, she is a problem, bro. They're transvestiting. Dude, she's the key. Guys, they think she's the key to the young people, right? But a lot can change. But I'm telling you, though, they are grooming her for politics. They are grooming her for politics, man. And dude, she's old. Yeah, she's old, guys. She is old, boss. Right? Maybe, I hope they don't. I mean, I'll be honest. I think she would make their ticket very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? She would make their ticket very dangerous because every political rally would be like a referendum on fucking left-wing violence and like a Charlie Kirkathon, right? Which is bothersome to me because that really activates the right-wing fucking jugheads, right? The right-wing jughead fucking white men get very activated by the Charlie Kirk sort of situation, right? And we want those guys to not vote. You know what I'm saying? My millennial self has given up on any hope for my future at this point. I have 2 weeks off of work, though, and damn it, I need it. Thanks, Tommy. You're welcome, A-Money. Thank you, boss. Enjoy that 2 weeks. Let's go, dude. Mivs. Dude is my favorite word, dude. Mivs Daily coming in with the 20. Let's go, baby. Fuck you, Trumpy. Oh, dude. Oh, rub my prostate, Trumpy. Oh. Let's go. Dude, Mivs. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Dude, big dubs. Yeah, so I think we need to take the House, dude. I am good people. Oh, no, Mivs is good people. I'm all right, people. I have my moments. Let's go. Dude, Mivs coming in hot, dude. I love saying the word Mivs, too. Dude, something about Mivs. It's a great word, dude. Mivs. Mivs! You don't think Vance will pick Erica Kirk? He hates women. Well, so the thing about this, though, guys, is let me just tell you. And again, when the time comes, the VP is not selected because somebody likes them, because J.D. Vance hates Donald Trump. He called him America's Hitler, right? You choose who you think is going to give you the best chance of winning. And especially with the Republicans. Like, they don't need to like each other. They don't. They just need to have a transactional benefit, okay? J.D. Vance will partner with whomever increases his chances of winning, and I don't care if it was it could be a Russian oligarch, dude. He wouldn't give a shit because he doesn't care. But I hope it's not her, but I see them trying to groom her, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We shall see what happens, right? Hopefully not. I hope not. I hope it's not. You know what I mean? I do not want to have to deal with that fucking Charlie Kirk shit in the center of the election. But right now, though, she's the only person on that side that has, like, she's got a rising profile. She's not tainted by the Republican political machine, okay? She's a woman, which they hate women, right? So them having a woman VP is an out for them to pass restrictive abortion legislation, because it's like, no, we're for the women. We're not going to harm women. I mean, believe me, when they finally pass a nationwide abortion ban, they're going to have a woman in the administration, guys. That's what they're going to do. They're going to use a woman to fuck women over, right? And I don't know if it'll be her, right? But like, that's what they were trying to do with Nikki Haley. The powers that were behind her is because they believe that they can, like, having a woman as part of the ticket, then you can't say they're anti-woman. It's like they're like having a black friend, right? That's how they operate. But the main thing is she's got a reality TV presence. She allows the centering of Charlie Kirk. She is she doesn't have the political, Republican political baggage. She's got the Christian influence, right? So she can be part of that Christian revival thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, they're thinking about it. I don't know if it'll come to pass, right? But they're definitely fucking thinking about it, right? They are. There are people right now going, could we pull this off? Dude, she does have crazy evil eyes, boss. You know what I mean? The more she talks, the less people like her, left, right, and center. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I know that's true on the left. I don't know that it's true on people on the right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that that's true with people on the right. I don't really know how the right-wingers feel about her, because I do know that they've sort of like, she's the grieving widow, which kind of in a political context, if you say anything negative about you, they make it look like you're a bad person, right? And so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. VP and First Lady. I mean, I just know they're going to cook up something unusual, right? Because I mean, who else would they have run with J.D. Vance? Who else brings them a benefit? Dude, Jess! Oh shit, Jess, let's go! Oh! Dude, Jess coming in hot! Oh! Thank you, Jess! Let's go! Let's go. Yeah, guys, it's a long way away. You know what I'm saying? And they are going after the youth. And I think, guys, it's going to matter. What's going to matter is it's going to matter with how she sort of tests with the focus group of the young people. Okay? Because they cannot win. Okay? The Republicans cannot win without, like, young men being fucking, like, fervently, young white men need to show up big for them to win. From here on out, like, normally young white men don't vote, okay? And the reason why young white men don't vote is because young white men are not at all affected by the political process. If you have a Democrat win or you have a Republican win, for the most part, young white men, nothing's changing for them, okay? They're going to have access to credit. They're going to have advantages systemically that, like, dude, anybody could be fucking president. It doesn't really harm them. So normally they don't vote. They drink beer, they play video games, they go out and try to get laid. And now Charlie Kirk and the Trumpism clan discovered that young white men can be mobilized with homophobia and transphobia and some misogyny, and they will show up for an aggressive, bullying, memeing fucking piece of shit, grapey candidate, right? That they can be mobilized, and that helped them win, right? If they mobilize the young white men, they can win. So now what they're going to be doing is they're going to be spending the next 3 years thinking, how can we mobilize young white men, because Charlie Kirk ain't going to do it for him again. And so now it depends. If Erica Kirk figures that shit out, maybe they grab her. GOP is dumb enough to run Abbott. Oh, shit, G-Town. Dude, I'd love him to run Abbott. Let's go. Yeah, no, I don't feel sorry for young white men either. I don't. But I do understand their PR campaign, though. And it's because I grew up, I have a young white son, okay? And he's 20. And the thing is he did notice, like one of the things he noticed as a young white man was the hostility that, like, was different. Like, when I was a young white man, there was no hostility towards us that was spoken at all. So it was felt. There were certainly people who hated young white men, but nobody said anything about it. We just plowed through life and got all the opportunities. Now, he was growing up in an environment where a lot of people were talking about, white men and the bad things white men do. And so he did a lot of times feel a sense of pressure, or like society was identifying him as a threat, even though he's not. And it like, he had context with me to be able to process those feelings and be able to look at it and see what was going on socially. But the thing I guess I'm saying is there are a lot of young white boys who don't have dads that would provide them context about that. And in fact, may reinforce their idea that, yeah, they're oppressing you, son. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how we got here, is we got here with a political climate and a political machine that has been messaging to young white men that, no, it's not about you being accountable. They're attacking you. And they're trying to take away all your opportunity because they're mad about something that happened a couple 100 years ago. And we don't have enough adults providing context to these young men to be able to navigate that shit. And that's how we got in this mess. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys, Trump and these fucking, the Manhattan Institute and the Heritage Foundation and all these conservative groups, they've been cooking this up for a while. And so, I mean, we're in a bit of a pickle. So we need to fuck up their messaging about that. We need to make sure that those young white men don't become rabid voters, right? Because I don't think we're going to win them. Like when they say Democrat messaging, the young white men who identify with Trumpism and MAGA are never coming to our side, guys. Okay? They're not. We need them to fight each other. Yes. We need them to fight each other and to be demoralized and to stop believing in each other to where they just don't want to show up. They want to go back to just drinking beer and trying to get laid. And if we accomplish that mission, we'll be just fine. That's it. We got to get them back to like the video game console and the pool table and the air hockey machine, right? We need to just get them back to their little whatever, their frat parties. And don't worry about politics, guys, right? That's it, right? Destroy their motivation, okay? You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day this country will let young white men get a fair shake. Dude, it's hard. It's hard, dude. It is, dude. It's hard, man. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Oh, shit. But like, dude, these guys though are like people are fucked up, right? Like, for example, can I just show you real quick, right? And then I think we're gonna fucking, dance party, go make some videos. But like, it's like the Aiden Ross thing, okay? Let me just show you what we're dealing with here, okay? So it's Aiden Ross and the puka guy, okay? Right? Did you see this? Did you see this? Look at this shit. So Aiden Ross, okay, right? Aiden Ross went on had 𝗙𝗚, the wide receiver from the Rams, okay, on his stream, okay? Now, this is what we're dealing with, okay? So he does, look at this. He's going to this wide receiver and says, hey man, I want to add something to your dance, okay? To your touchdown dance. And he tells him to rub his hands together like that, okay? Look at this. This guy's a wide receiver for the Rams. He doesn't realize that what Aiden Ross is doing is the happy merchant hands, and he's teaching him the happy merchant hands to add to his NFL dance, okay? And he's like, look at that. He's doing the happy merchant, and he's telling him to do it. And he's like, yeah, and he's all laughing, okay? Because they're setting him up. This guy's a football player. He doesn't know that Aiden Ross just showed him the happy merchant, okay? That Aiden Ross just gave him a thing that this guy's going to go do in his touchdown dance, and the whole world's going to be like, dude, that's an anti-Semitic trope. And right, but Aiden's doing this right, the football player is dumb, but Aiden Ross is fucking setting this guy up, right? He's totally setting this guy up. You know what I'm saying? And like, and they're so, look at him. They're all laughing and he has no idea. He's like having him do this shit and he has no idea that they're setting him up to do the happy merchant. Bro, you know what I'm saying? This is what we're dealing with though, right? Is like Aiden Ross is like, it's all just a fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? And everybody in the chat's like, oh my God, we got him to do the happy merchant. It's like the whole thing is just a fucking, like, it's a big fucking Groiper game to these guys, right? Just, right? But you see though why these guys like Donald Trump? This is why these guys like Donald Trump, okay? Because Donald Trump will do this kind of shit. Donald Trump went on Aiden Ross's fucking podcast, right? Went on his stream, right? Because Donald Trump's like, yeah, I'll go out there and do some racial shit. I'll go out there and be anti-trans. I'll go out there and fucking say racial shit and use Hitlerisms and shit and have the media go crazy. I'm gonna be just like you guys. I'm representing you guys. You know what I'm saying? And like, so that's fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. Right? They do. They just want to burn us. They want us to they want to fucking like just sort of crank this shit. This trolling, this memeing, just any way that they can like fuck you over. They don't care if they fuck you over as long as they're getting the meme out of it and like power tripping because they got you to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and they're taking advantage of like people like fucking dumb athletes because let's face it, a lot of these football players are they're fucking stupid, man. I mean, you know, and most Trump voters are fucking stupid. They literally just are. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like the thing about this, who 𝗙𝗚 went to BYU? See, first off, let me just cue you into one thing, guys. Okay, let me just cue you into one thing. First off, an education at BYU is like mostly religious. But secondly, if you're a good athlete, guys, you don't get an education, bro. You get a degree. Okay, let me just tell you from like, I went to UCLA with Troy Aikman. Dude, that motherfucker never went to class, bro. That motherfucker did not go to college the way the rest of the people at UCLA went to college. That guy was groomed to be the fucking athlete that was bringing in tens of $millions for the fucking college, and nobody gave a shit what he did. He could have walked into his lecture and fucking taken a dump in the middle of the fucking classroom and nobody would have even fucking reported it to the newspaper. Dude, I shit you not, bro. They live in a different world, man. Oh my God. And dude, BYU is like, like Jenny transcribes at BYU, it's all religion. They don't even learn any shit there. They talk about Jesus all day, dude. It's crazy. All right, we need 11. 4 minutes. Let's go, baby. Dude, we got to grind it. Dude, you like the roasting? Dude, I'm a good roaster. I fucking can roast. Dude, I can roast with the best of them. All right, we got to get this, though. We need 11 and 4, baby. Let's get it. Can I show you something, though, dude? Oh, my God. I got to show you something. Coming in here late. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. Let's go, KD. Appreciate you. Let's go. Wrong button. But let's go, dude. Let's go. 10. 10, baby. 10. 10 and 3. 10 and 3. Let's go. KD. Fucking big shit, dude. Huge, huge, huge. Let's go. Thanks, boss. All right. 10 more. Ooh. Coming down to the wire as usual, but I want to show, can I show you something? This is a right-wing thing, but I thought it was pretty funny. Okay? I'm going to share with you something that like, cause I can laugh at right-wing shit too. But do you guys remember the Seinfeld with the Kenny Rogers roasters? So there's a Seinfeld episode. Dude, name was Nick. Let's foment on the dance floor. Let's go. There's a Seinfeld episode where, dude, we need 9 more guys, 9 and 242. There's a Seinfeld episode where a Kenny Rogers Roasters opens up across the street and this red light is just beaming into their apartments. LFG, Shin Godzilla, let's go. And nobody can sleep. And somebody made that into a Republican meme. Kramer, what's going on in there? And he's like, Trump's back, Jerry. Dude, isn't that amazing? This is like the one right-wing meme I saw where I'm like, that's actually hilarious, dude. Right? Kramer, what's going on in there? Trump's back. Jerry, dude, isn't that good? That's fucking good, bro. I like, dude, I don't like a lot of the fucking right-wing memes, but I had to give that one some props because that one was good. We're dancing. Let's go, Nick. Let's go, baby. All right, oh my God, 1 minute and 45, dude. We need 7 in 1.5 minutes. Oh shit, dude, we got a gun. 6, LMAO Kramer, let's go. 6 in a minute and a half. We can do this. You can do it. Oh shit, dude. 1 minute and 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Your coworker liked the dance song. Let's go. Oh, dude, yeah, Little Deja Vu. It's a good song, dude. Let's go, baby. Oh, my God, down to the last minute. We need 6 in a minute. I don't think we get it. That's like 1 every 10 seconds, boss. We may be cooked. Shit, boss. Yeah, dude, Kramer, though, was amazing. 59, 58, 57. Oh, there we go, 5. 5 up. Jason's 4. Let's go, FML podcast. Let's go, baby. For Jason's Australiana. FML, baby. Oh, dude, Kramer was the shit before he had the N-word meltdown. Dude, then he fucking went downhill, boss. 4 left. 35 seconds. Oh my God, 30 seconds for 4. Dude, the nerves. 3 left. Pinky comes in. Let's go. 2 left. Nameless Nick. Let's foment. Down to the final 2. 20 seconds. Dude, Kramer would fit in. What N-word meltdown? Petrozzi, let's go. Thank you. Uno mas, 10 seconds. Yeah, so Kramer had a meltdown he was performing, I believe, at the Laugh Factory. And he had a meltdown and started like screaming the N-word. Oh my God, no, we missed it. Oh, we got it. Oh shit. Dude, we missed it. No, I'm going to count that. Oh shit, dude. We got down to the very end, dude. We're counting that. That one counts. Dude, just after the buzzer, but dude, it was in the fucking bucket, bro. I think that one was in the net, dude. We got 3 at the thing. Dude, let's go get your boogie on. Dude, big love. Dude, what would you guys do? Guys, what would you do if I said, oh, sorry, guys, it says 19. We're going to have to start another one, dude. Dude, what would you guys do if I did that? Dude, Nameless Nick, let's go. If I'm like, oh, guys, it says 19. So I'm going to start a new goal. Sorry, we missed that. Dude, wouldn't that be funny? Oh, shit. Yeah, no, the shots were in the air. There were like 4 of them in the air, boss. There were 4 baskets going. The buzzer, it counts. If the shot's in the air, it still counts. Oh, shit. Let's go. Dude, let's go. No, we're killing it, dude. We got it. We got it. You like to stream your insomniism, Dad? Yeah, no, that's good. Although I am moving earlier. Right? We're gonna move it earlier pretty soon. Oh shit, boss. Ball was in the air. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Oh. Dude, crazy. So, all right, the last thing I want to talk about. See, this shit right here, dude, is crazy, right? See? Look at that, bro. Like, this shit is so toxic. You know what I mean? And they're just fucking, dude, Miss Good Life, let's go. They're fucking doing this shit, just setting people up. You know what I'm saying? Hops on a live stream with Aiden Ross the day before he plays the Seahawks and agrees to do an anti-Semitic touchdown dance, has to apologize for his action. Okay? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, right? And then he's like, he's just too dumb to know, you know, because these guys are, again, like the NFL football players or whatever, they're not politically fucking active. And like the reality, guys, you know what the reality is? Is I feel like this Aiden Ross thing illuminates something bigger, okay? Because there are huge swaths of people that are like automatically Republican Trump voters, athletes, you know, especially the religious athletes, the people that believe in God and all this shit. But like, the funny thing is most of them are unaware, okay? He's unaware. He's over there with Aiden Ross, and he's not aware of Aiden Ross's background with anti-Semitism, with Andrew Tate, with Groyperism. He probably doesn't even know what a Groyper is. He's not like those NFL players. Most of them aren't politically active at all. They just automatically vote for the party that talks about Jesus all the time, right? Yes, farmers, military, whatever, cop families, they are just programmed to vote a certain way. And now you have people like, you had Charlie Kirk doing this, where Charlie Kirk said, if you're a Christian, you can't vote Democrat, okay? There is a clip of Charlie Kirk saying this, okay? Right? Where he literally says it right here. You ready? Look at this.
I say this all the time. People get so angry. You cannot be a Christian and a Democrat, period. If you are a Christian and a Democrat, you are not a Christian.
Right there. That's the programming they've done. Okay? They have weaponized the religion and the fear of hell into politics. We ain't come to play school, Cardale Jones. Let's go, Thomas Paine. Thank you, boss. And so not only did Charlie Kirk do this, but the preachers in the mega churches are doing this, and more you're seeing right-wing influencers do this. Yes, Miss Good Life, yours went through. We fucking talked it up. Let's go. Oh, I didn't hit the other one, though, but we did talk it up. So they have begun creating this thing of like, man, if you're a Christian, you can't be a Democrat. So then if you're a devout Christian, you just vote Republican because it guarantees you're not going to hell. And then you don't have to know anything else. So a lot of these people, like you look at that 𝗙ecie guy, he doesn't follow politics at all. Okay. He literally just goes and does the thing that the fucking whatever, the famous people, the right-wing people, the MAGA tell him to do. And this happens a lot. It happens with our young guys. I saw it in the gaming world. If all their friends are into Myron Gaines or Andrew Tate, the young boys who want to be a part of that friend group just become fans of Andrew Tate. Why? Because he believes in God, because he believes in men. He's not oppressing you. He's not trying to hurt you, right? We all believe in him, so you got to too, or you're not going to have any friends, you know? And like, but look at him, dude. He's like full on fucking happy merchanting this shit. And like, dude, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy because if you can't be a Christian and vote for Republicans. There's no way. If you're a Christian and you vote for a party that decides who amongst God's creations have value or not, that worships wealth, despises the poor, wants to kick immigrants in the nuts and punish them and hurt them, you know what I mean? Believes that, like, right? Believes that, you know, demonization and using slurs is like good, and being a billionaire, like I guarantee you, if Jesus and God were real, they don't like billionaires. There's no fucking way a billionaire is gaining entrance to heaven. Not a fucking chance, unless they're taking all of their billions of dollars and going out and literally like solving homelessness and shit. There's no fucking way. Every billionaire would burn in fucking hell, crispy, like a fucking pizza left in an oven for fucking 24 hours, bro. That shit would be charred, boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way, dude. Dude. Yeah, no, I mean, kind of what Oh No said right there is really interesting, right? That today's MAGA they are kind of like, they are religious extremists. You know what I'm saying? Today's MAGA, I don't want to use the word jihadist because I feel like that word has a bunch of negative connotations and is a weird sort of almost Islamophobic term even, really, right? But you being an ex-Muslim, like, that word is fine for you to use. I don't like that word, right? I feel like that word is part of the, is used against Muslims in a really terrible way. But what I'm saying is that fucking that the MAGA are like revolty, extremist, control you with fascism, like totally extreme religious people. Like, they really, if somebody in the Republican Party said, we're going to pass a law saying every Democrat or every non-Christian goes to prison for life, the MAGA people would be like, it's about time, right? Like, they literally, if there was like public torturing of like non-Christians, they would be like bringing fucking, picnic baskets and shit to watch people have their skin peeled off. Like, I shit you not. They are that like crazy about it, where they don't care if you get harmed, or in fact, they want to watch, they just want you to be punished because you like wanted them to use a pronoun, or because you wanted them to wear a mask while 7 million people were dying in a fucking pandemic. It's like, you made me wear a mask. Now they're going to lynch your whole family, right? Because, yeah, it's like, dude, what the fuck, bro? That's pretty weird. I mean, look at what they were doing with the woman at Target. The woman who harassed that old lady for wearing the shirt. They wanted her to be arrested for giving a woman shit for wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt. They wanted her arrested. They were trying, when she didn't get arrested, like, really? You want to arrest people now because they say something negative about Charlie Kirk? Like, what the fuck, bro? Dude. Yeah. That shit is crazy. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not shopping at Target. Dude, I stopped. Like, Target, I even told them, I tagged them in a post where I literally tagged Target and said, I will not step foot in your building again unless I am like burning one down. That's it. Sorry, but that's where I draw the line with the way you guys like didn't hold fast and defend people during Pride Month, and then you removed your measure to support black-owned businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Dude, what is this person? I don't even know what they're talking about. Dude, when you write fucking 20 messages like that, I don't even know what that said, but it was hard to understand. I was like, what side is this person on? That person was like on both sides at once, dude. Right? They were like, hi, MAGA. Dude, they sniffed Aiden Ross's chair, I believe. But yeah, so after like Target, nope, not happening, boss. Right? All right, you ready? I'm ready for a dance party. I'm going to go make some videos, guys. I got a lot of Epstein videos to make, dude. I do. Somebody said Candace Owens was melting down. We'll have to look at that tomorrow. Oh, I did want to say one thing before we go, though. I thought the Elise Stefanik thing was pretty interesting, right? The Elise Stefanik is pretty interesting, guys, because what I was wondering about this was like, why is she doing that? You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, why is she doing that? You know what I mean? Elise Stefanik, like, isn't that a weird, Joey, let's go. Like, I thought this was a weird decision, okay? Because the thing that's crazy about it is she was like a rising Republican star, okay? And I know she knows she can't win for governor, and I get that. I get her dropping out of the governor race, but I don't get her not running for Congress anymore. Like, she's actually leaving Congress. And that to me struck me as weird. Like, I get it. Like, oh, all right, you're not going to run governor because Hochul has fused with Mondami and Hochul's going to win again. But like, man, why would she not run for Congress anymore? Right? Is it her district? Has her district turned on her? Like, is it because of the Trump shit? Right? Or like, I was just really intrigued by that. You know, did they change her district? Or, you know, because she was like a solid, you know, she was like a solid. Yeah, tell me about that though. Right? Where is New York 21? Because, I mean, dude, like, how is that? Right? Like, that seems like about as red as it gets, right? It's Albany and a bunch of fucking, you know what I'm saying? Oh, really? Is it because she was not like super Trumpy? Or is it because she was too pro-Trumpy? Right? I'm really intrigued. You know what I'm saying? Right? The Ozarks are in Missouri and Arkansas. Because what I was thinking about this, because obviously, guys, one is Trump, like, kind of became a non-supporter, okay? For sure. Like, Trump was not super on her side. Remember how he threw her under the bus with Zoran Mamdani, where he basically met with Zoran Mamdani, and instead of being like, Zoran's a jihadist, like she was saying, he was like, oh, well, I don't know. She's saying things because she's campaigning. I love Zoran. So he kind of threw her under the bus on the Mamdani thing. But it made me wonder, like, I don't know, that seemed really interesting to that she just dropped out. It made me think that she knew something was coming, that she had been a Trump stooge this whole time. And now she was worried about what's about to come out about Trump is going to mean she would have no chance at winning. And I wondered this about the other Republicans, like retiring. Like, do they know that Epstein shit is going to drop, that is going to make Trump politically toxic? So every rep that had been pro-Trump is now just like, man, we may as well fucking pack it in. Like, I don't know. It seems strange. You know, it seems fucking strange that, like, you know, she was like pro-Trump, and even now Trump's, you know, flexing his shit. And some of the pro-Trumpies are like, we're out. We're not coming back. Not safe to be for him, not safe to be against him. I mean, there's some truth to that for sure. Right? But you know, it could be, you know, I don't know. I was just baffled by this. I was pretty baffled by her decision. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he did pull the appointment. That was pretty embarrassing, right? And I mean, this was the thing I was talking about. Stefanik's campaign on calling Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist? No, but she's out there campaigning. You say some things sometimes in a campaign, you'd have to ask her about that. I met with a man who is a rational person. Dude, that really that fucked her up pretty bad, right? Right? That did. And he did take away the job, right? You know what I'm saying? But so yeah. So he promised her a job. She resigned. Then, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I guess he kind of fucked her, right? Right? Because she gets ready to take the job and then doesn't get the job and has nothing. Then she runs for governor. He throws her under the bus with Mamdani. And so now she's like, fuck this. Dude, he just like fucking jacked her from every fucking direction, boss. See, I guess for me, I didn't realize that part. Okay? I didn't realize that, you know, that's the thing. Hold on, let me see here. So, see, that's what I don't... Now I get it. Okay? Okay. Oh, wait, no, she's still in the house, isn't she? Right? Did she drop out? Is she currently in the house? She is in the house right now, right? Okay. Yeah. So no, I for a second there I thought she had stepped down from the house and to take the new job, and then he pulled the job, and so she had nothing. You know what I'm saying? But she is still in the house. Yeah, I guess I'm surprised she's not running again, right? That I'm a little surprised by that move. But maybe she's assuming that Trump would just try to like sabotage her and she doesn't want to go through that. But I don't know, man. I feel like some of this has to do, like, I can't get that David Schuster tweet out of my head, guys. Right? This one. Okay? I can't get this tweet out of my head, guys. Right here. Which is where David Schuster said before this even happened. Okay? David Schuster said, once the discharge petition is signed, all the Republicans are going to do it because they already know there's a bunch of damning shit on Trump. That he said the scuttlebutt was that the Republicans know that Trump and everyone fucking attached to him is going down, and that they're going to start like separating. You know what I mean? And so when I see some of these moves, it makes me wonder if there really is some damning shit that people know it is, which is why Bongino's saying goodbye and why other people are like, fuck this, I'm not even running again, because they know that there's just a fucking shit show that's coming, and it's going to be Trump doing everything he can to prevent this shit from coming out. And then maybe it's going to come out anyway, or if it doesn't come out, that he's going to try to burn the whole fucking thing down to avoid it coming out, that the entire government is just going to become a flaming fucking dumpster fire. You know the burning dumpster fucking thing, right? Right? That the whole government is about to become this, right? You know, the one that is this one, dude, right? There you go. That the whole U.S. government is about to become that, with Trump being like, I'm not going to let this shit come out, and the shit is actually in there. And so everybody's like, fuck, bro. Dude, we're going to just go watch this from the bank, dude. Dude. Right? Oh, shit, boss. There it is, dude. Every time I think of Trump, bro, that's just what I think of, dude. That's it. That's what I think of. That's the entire thing. Right? Dude, Bongino, yeah, he didn't last very long. All right. And now there's this shit, though, like people, we're not going to talk about it tonight, but there's a new conspiracy theory, guys. Okay? There's a brand new conspiracy theory forming around the Brown University shooter. And let me just tell you, I've seen it, but it involves Trump media joining up with that fusion energy company, and then the fusion scientists getting gunned down in Brookline, Massachusetts. So now the new conspiracy theory is that scientist was working on fusion energy that would have ended our need to use oil, and that Trump is fusing with this company with that technology, and they're like offing the people that are working on this energy technology to like protect oil or something. I don't know. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me, because if Trump was fusing with the fusion energy company, they would want the scientists that was doing that technology, right? Because you're not going to, like, if you kill the scientists doing the work, how are you going to get rich on the technology, right? And that doesn't make sense to me, you know? You know what I mean? Like, why would they kill the scientists that is like the fusion company isn't going to make a killing without the scientists like advancing the technology, right? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense. It would be like if Trump fused with an oil company and they killed the fusion scientists, that would make sense, because now he's getting rich off oil. But if he's fusing with a nuclear fusion technology, they would want to buy the scientist that is breaking through with that technology, because that would make them all rich. They wouldn't want to kill him, you know? Right? I mean, it's like they're making a link, but I don't know if the link is correct, right? You know? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But every day there's like a new conspiracy theory. Now, my thing is, though, is I think the Trump and the nuclear technology fusion makes sense on a different level. Because if we go back like 6 months ago, Trump he made a pronouncement. Okay, he signed an executive order about nuclear power, And Trump made a pronouncement about how America wanted to go into nuclear power, like almost exclusively to be able to power data centers and shit, right? They're going to stick to oil for cars, and they're going to stick to oil for heating and natural gas for heating, and they're going to renew coal and get rich off that. But they want nuclear fusion to make data centers. That's going to be about AI. Okay, they're not doing the solar. They want to do nuclear fusion. And so then he's, now he's like, his company's aligning with a nuclear company because then he's going to get wealthy when the United States government starts building nuclear reactors, right? That was where I kind of went with that, is like he's trying to get rich on what's going to be government policy, which is bullshit, dude. Dude, he's so corrupt, right? Dude, we should have a class action against Donald Trump for his corruption or some shit. Like, come on, man. All right, I'm going to go make videos, guys. It's time. It's time to dance, baby. Let's get it. Yeah, I've heard about the supposed data center under the ballroom. We'll have to look at it. And the hat says goat, not boat. We'll look into that. I mean, guys, I'll be honest. Guys, it is it's a little hard to process all of these like theories or whatever, even with like a data center under the White House. You know why? Because every day there's like new conspiracy theories being offered up and being generated, and I feel like the right wingers like that. They like making you think there's a conspiracy thing happening, because that gets their base all activated and jammed up and shit. And so, like, I feel like there's actually a propaganda campaign going on now to try and start conspiracy theories about everything just to, right? You know what I mean? Like, I think the Trump administration sometimes starts conspiracy theories about themselves just to elevate some type of media to sort of obfuscate what the truth is anymore, to where things don't even sound true anymore unless it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, if you're talking about the data center underneath the White House, then you forget about the Epstein files for a minute, right? Or you're not talking about Trump, looting the fucking treasury and shit, Because, I mean, the thing about it is like, why would they need a data center under the White House? I don't think, like, a data center doesn't need to be local. It's not like we're running around with cassette tapes or some shit like it's a Commodore VIC-20 in the basement. You know what I mean? Like, could there be a data center under the White House? Like, all the water that would have to be pumped in there and the heat that would offload. Like, you would probably feel the heat. You'd be standing next to the White House and it would be warm. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just some of this doesn't seem very plausible, right? A bunker, maybe that's more believable, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's hard. Because a data center doesn't have to be in your house. Like, the data runs on fucking wires and shit. The DJ booth? Dude, what if it's a sex dungeon? Dude, I mean, I'm sure there's already a bunker under it, don't you think? Don't you think there's already a bunker and tunnels under that White House? Like, there's gotta be, right? There's gotta be. There's no way they would let the president be in that house and not have some exit that was, you know, like where he could get out without being targeted by a missile, right? Like there's absolutely gotta be an underground bunker and some tunnels that like go to the airport or some shit, go to a fucking, an airstrip. Like, absolutely. If there's not, like, we have the dumbest fucking government on the planet, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. All right, you ready? You guys ready for a little, you ready for a little deja vu? Oh. Let's go. Thank you guys for a great show. Thank you for all the support. Dude, we got a holiday coming up soon. We're going to grind some videos. We're going to cover a lot of Epstein. If you want shit for me to cover, put it in the React on Stream channel in the Discord. The one thing I ask you though, guys, is try to get me the source material, which means if 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏 does a show about like Joe Rogan, right? I don't necessarily want 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏's video about Joe Rogan. I want the video that he's watching about Joe Rogan, right? We always want the source material, right? Because you know what I'm saying? That's what we're after. We're after the shit where, so I'm not reacting to 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, but I'm reacting to the subject he's talking about through the source material. That's the goal, right? So you can link me to like Kyle's video and then link me to like the source Joe Rogan or the news story he's talking about. But we want the shit in the Reacts channel to be the primary sources. And you can have a content creator in there too. But we're after the primary sources, right? Because I'm like, you know, it's like the Vanguard is more about the people, and I think I'm more about the actual source. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to everybody who puts shit in the reacting channel, right? Because a lot of people do put stuff in there. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll react to a reaction, but mostly you do want the primary source material. That is super helpful, right? All right, let's go. Oh, shit. All right, you ready? Vanguard seems like gossip. Yeah, well, so I think, though, the Vanguard, that's always been their role. I don't know if I would necessarily call them gossip, but the Vanguard are like, they react to the creators, right? Like, the Vanguard is like, they do content and reaction and in, you know, spotlight about the creators. They're more like less about the news and more about the people that are, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like they cover the people covering left-wing politics and looking at all the beef and the riffs and the mistakes and people, you know what I'm saying? They're like covering the people, right? Which I think is actually really important too. That's another vein, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like that's kind of like what TMZ and Inside Edition do, right? Inside Edition doesn't cover Hollywood news. They cover the people in Hollywood that are in the news, right? And you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the difference between Variety, right? Variety covers the news in Hollywood, but then, you know, People magazine covers the people in Hollywood that end up in the news. And so one of them is a little bit more like, you know, right? You know, and dude, I like that shit. I think that's an important function, right? Yeah, you got to cover the drama in the scene, baby. Let's go. This shit's important. Oh, all right. I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to dance. Let's get her done. Dude, what a show. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was checking the CTR of one of my videos. I had some thumbnail changes I did tonight, and I just wanted to check it out, and it's doing good. Positive change. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go, baby. Oh, oh. Let's go. How to get your heart rate up?
I don't wanna hang around.
I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Thank you, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Dude, what a fucking night, bro. Get a long road ahead of us. It really is about one thing, guys. You. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. Thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
I just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down. I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. It's about you. I would never